Good evening, Mr. Wanderer. Those who journey through YouTube, through the algorithm, you have found me. My name is Cameron Rise. This is my show. Cameron watches everything, where I pick a film and I dissect it like a great doctor. A movie doctor, as it were. You have joined me upon my quest, and I thank you for doing so. Let us journey forth as we watch the Tom Hanks vehicle, Monsters and Mazes, as we kick off TV Movie of the Week. A toast first, as we begin our journey. Here, Stone, Wizards and Gargoyles. A wonderful drink from Stone in modern times. Let us drink, and let us begin the journey. Ooh, the hood looks silly. Ooh, very good. Hello, what a fun opening bit. That's right, we're watching Monsters and Mazes. It stars Tom Hanks, famously stars Tom Hanks in his first starring role. We're going to talk about that movie, but I did want to talk about, yes, Wizards and Gargoyles. It's a coffee beer. Very good, very good. Film is based on a book. The book takes place. It was during that time when Dungeons and Dragons was a huge to-do in the 80s, and everyone was like, my God, this book is going to get people, this book is going to get people, there's a book, it's a Dungeon Master's Guide. This book is going to get people into the occult. They're worshiping the devil. It's going to drive people insane. There was all these stories. There was all this fear about Dungeons and Dragons and D&D. So this book got written, Monsters and Mazes, because couldn't get the right to Dungeons and Dragons. Within the book is about a young man who goes insane. They made it into a movie. That's what we're talking about today. We open up in media res. For those who don't know, media res means in the middle of the story.
Look, I got less than a minute.
You know I can't release the name yet.
You told me that wasn't a student at the university.
Yes.
Right, now what was he doing in there?
How should I know? John, we're going in. Okay, be careful.
That's right, it's usually what J.J. Abrams does. You start somewhere in the story and you work your way back. We start within media res. Turns out there's a young college student who's been playing been playing Monsters and Mazes. It's a game that people are playing, and this news reporter is like, what, Monsters and Mazes? My kids play that game.
This is Bud Hayden, live from Pequod Campus, where I'll be reporting on the apparent disappearance of a Grant University student, the victim of a seemingly innocent game, Mazes and Monsters. Now, Mazes and Monsters is a fantasy role-playing game in which the players create an imaginary character. These characters are then plunged into a fantasy world of invented terrors. The point of the game is to amass a fortune without being killed.
And this young man has gone missing. Who's in there? Who's in the cave? It's media res, so we're gonna flash back, and that's where we meet the four main characters. That's right, it's not just Tom Hanks. There's three other people. This is an ensemble cast. We meet all four of the characters. We meet JJ, who is an eccentric. He's an eccentric. He wears funny hats anytime you see him.
Oh, nice to see you, Mr. Brooklyn. Nice hat.
Thanks, Paul. His mother, also though very eccentric. Turns out JJ is 16 years old, but he's in college. Smart. He's whip smart. Comes home to come visit. I guess for the summer. I don't know. Timelines in this movie are kind of all over the place. When things are happening, how long it all takes. So JJ comes home. His mother has changed his room up, made it look like a hospital. I'm like, whoa. He hates it. JJ is he's so mad. He's so mad about the room.
Voila!
Oh, no. What have you done?
We meet Kate. Kate is dealing with her mother. We meet all the characters' parents. You think, because they're going to play major parts in the movie. Nope. So we meet Kate, the one female in the group. It's her and three dudes.
I don't care, I'm never going to get married anyway. I'm going to be a famous writer. By the way, how is the writing coming? I've got writer's block, but I finally figured out why. It's because I haven't really lived yet. So how can I write about things I don't know about?
She's talking with her mother. She's got this writer's block. She's talking about writer's block that makes you think, is Kate a writer? I guess. It comes up one other time in the movie. Don't worry about it. And then we meet Daniel. And this is where it gets interesting. Daniel is eating dinner with his parents. Daniel's somebody who wants to, he's a computer genius, but he wants to make games. He doesn't want to just work in IT. He wants to be a game maker. And his parents are like, you gotta drop that silly shit. You gotta get that out of here. There's no cursing. This is a TV movie. But they're like, you gotta drop that stuff. No way, Daniel. You need to be serious about your life.
You have a special gift for computers. You've always had that. What I really love is to make up games for computers.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can do it as a hobby.
Daniel, your father and I are not telling you not to enjoy life. We're just telling you not to waste it.
Who's gonna make up the games in the world?
Other people will. You have a much more important talent.
Just give me a little more time, okay?
And then finally, we meet Robbie. Robbie, played by Tom Hanks, sitting in the backseat of his car as his parents are taking him to college. Mom and Dad, they're in the middle of an argument. Dad almost seems like a Robert Stack type. He's even wearing the Unsolved Mysteries clothes. Mom apparently is a drinker. Mom and Dad just pretty much just fight, but they let their young son know, Robbie, you gotta be serious this time. We're not gonna let you get all stuck in Monsters and Mazes. Apparently Robbie was a big-time Monsters and Mazes player in high school. I guess it hurt his schooling. Not enough for him to not get into college. He's like, don't worry, Mom and Dad, I'm not gonna do that. Monsters is behind me. Monsters and Mazes is behind me. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye.
Yeah, I know, Dad. I will.
I see another D, you don't see another check.
Oh, Hall, leave him alone.
And you've had too much to drink. Again.
Threats and accusations, that's all you know.
I should have driven Robbie up myself.
Oh, you should. Well, may I remind you, whether you like it or not, we are still a family.
I hate it when you drink.
I drink to get through the day.
So all the characters they meet at the college. Why you didn't open up here? Why we needed to meet all the parents and everyone else? Why they couldn't just meet at the college? I don't know. But they don't. They meet. Now they meet here. We had to open and meet everybody's individual parent and learn each individual's thing, as opposed to putting it throughout the story. Just have 4 scenes at the beginning that tell us everything we need to know. So Robbie, he's in the cafeteria or maybe the library. I can't remember. Good beer. And he sees the act, because so the 3 kids are talking earlier about like who we got to find a 4th player. We got to find a 4th player for Monsters and Mazes.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Have you seen Daniel?
Oh, I took it for granted he was up locked in some room with his latest woman of the week. I don't know.
Do we have a 4th player?
Well, I've typed up the notice, so I'm going to put it up in the bulletin board, okay?
Great, let's go.
We can't, our other guy left. We got to find someone who's serious. We got to find a serious player. So Robbie finds their ad about doing Monsters and Mazes. JJ sees him. JJ's also there. JJ sees it and he goes, hey man, do you play Monsters and Mazes? You want to join us? Robbie's like, oh no, I can't. I got to be serious about my schooling, man. And JJ's like, you should come to this party, dude. So Robbie, again Tom Hanks, goes to this party and that's where he meets Kate and he's like, oh, a girl. That's all it took for Robert. So Kate's like, they're talking and Robbie reveals he was a level 9 holy man. And they're like, oh my God, you're a level 9. You gotta join our party. And it's treated, his Monsters and Mazes thing is treated like, this is a drug addiction movie. This is basically a drug addiction movie.
I didn't go to class very much, and that's not the best thing for my marks.
Why didn't you go to class?
Well, I was into some extracurricular activities. I played a game called Mazes and Monsters a little too much.
You're kidding. What level?
Ninth level.
So am I.
Oh.
Isn't it wonderful to be finally creating your own scenarios?
Yeah, and your own fantasies, too. I'm really gonna miss it.
No, you're not. We have been looking desperately for a 4th player. This is wonderful. Daniel, I want you to meet Daniel. Daniel, meet Robbie.
Well,
he's level 9.
Hey, you gonna play with us?
Well, no, I can't. My folks.
Hey, we're not fanatics.
Well, how often do you play?
A couple times a week.
No, I really have to crack the books. Really? No, seriously.
He's a level 9.
Level 9? He didn't tell me that. Oh, well, sign him up.
No, I can't. This semester I have to.
No, you can.
Look, please just try one campaign with us.
Yeah.
Where this guy had a problem. It could be alcohol or drugs. And he kicked it. Then he went to school and got peer pressured into picking it up again. It's a drug problem. It was something he was able to kick, but now the peer pressure, it gave in. He had to do it. He had to play Magic and Monsters. Monsters and Mazes. I can't forget the fake name. Dungeons and Dragons. We're just gonna call it Dungeons and Dragons. Forget it. It's Dungeons and Dragons. So they do their D&D game. This room is set up with candles, just candles everywhere. As someone who's played some frequent D&D and RPGs, listen, I've done it on some networks where like they take it pretty seriously. This is a setup, and I don't know whose place this is. I'm guessing it's Dennis's, because Dennis, you see, is the dungeon master or the game master, as they call him in this. There is candles everywhere, and we meet their characters and we learn about Robbie's character, the holy man. So we open up the next day at the library, and Robbie has all the books. I don't know what we never learn what his degree is. I think the only person we know what their degree is Dennis. I guess he's working in computers. Outside of that, we never know anyone's degree. So Robbie, I don't know what he has all these books for. You know what? Why don't we we'll take a guess. Gonna open up my bag of dice. If I get an even number, it's English studies or some kind of book learning. If I get an odd number, it is let's say it's handyman, doctor. 15, he's a doctor. He's trying to be a doctor. That explains all the books. So Robbie has all these books. He's in the library. He's sitting there, and Kate's in there too. And at first, Robbie tries to kind of play it cool, and he drops all the books. Oh, it's clumsy. And then we get this romantic montage of the two of them. They're running around the park. They're having a ball, just getting to know each other.
You'll know now and forever.
You know, and then we hear about Robbie's sad backstory. The sad backstory of Robbie. Robbie had an older brother who ran away. He left Robbie, the older brother, Hal Jr. Hall Jr. Call him. His name is Hall Jr. I'm guessing the dad's name is Hall. And he just ran away. He left Robbie behind, and older brother left Robbie behind. Didn't tell him where he was going.
Name's Hall Jr. And about 3 years ago on his birthday, his Halloween night, my mother threw this big party for him. And in the middle of it, when no one was paying attention, he ran away.
You're kidding.
Mm-mm. We never got a letter, postcard, phone call, nothing.
We then have a nightmare sequence that feels like it's kind of trying to do the Exorcist thing. Robbie's wearing practically the exact same thing Father Harris is wearing, the kind of like gray jumpsuit, running forward, yelling. But this is a TV movie with no budget, so I think they just put Tom Hanks in a hall and then backlit him and frontlit him a little bit off the side. So then we're getting to know JJ more, again with his eccentric hats. We're getting to know JJ more, and it's sad. And he doesn't know Robbie and Kate are together, so he goes to go try to talk to Kate. Turns out Kate, she's seeing Robbie. JJ then contemplates that he's going to kill himself. Then he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered forever. At that point, you think, okay, this movie's going to be about JJ. Like, this movie's all about, nowadays when they market it, it's about Tom Hanks. Clearly, this is JJ's story. JJ has problems.
You know that no Grant University student has ever committed suicide? What can I do? There's got to be this stuff that legends are made of. I want them to remember J.J. Brockway.
Not so fast. So JJ, I guess there's like these caves and caverns right near the school. Some kids have gone missing before. So JJ goes in there. That's where he's going to kill himself. He's like, the people will remember if I die in these caverns. They'll remember JJ forever. He's walking around these caverns. He's got this torch. He's like, I'm going to take myself out. I'm doing this. By the way, we're still getting these jumping stories with like Robbie and Kate. They're going out. Do they want to be together? Yeah, they do. But Robbie may be moving too fast. It's a TV movie. There's just like so many B storylines. So they're playing Dungeons and Dragons again. And JJ kills his character. He gets his character killed, and Kate is despondent. Kate's like, why would you do this? This character, he's been around so long. And Dennis is like, it's fine. We'll just roll a new character. Let's keep playing.
JJ, that was really stupid, jumping into the pit without using your sonar first. Really stupid. Why did you do that?
Hey, cheer up, JJ. You can start again as a new character.
Oh, it'll take him forever to gather power.
Well, I didn't kill him. Did so. You weren't paying attention.
Hey, let's not fight about it.
Right, so what are we going to do now?
You know, again, you think at this point the movie's going to be about JJ. You know, sad guy JJ, incel JJ. I mean, he's 16, so, you know. So, but he's like, I have an idea. It's the ultimate game of mazes and monsters. Mazes and monsters, but in real life. So JJ invented LARPing. So he throws this out to everybody, and they kind of seem down to it. Dennis is a little bit like, because JJ's like, well, then I get to be the dungeon master now. And so Dennis is like, okay, so he's a little bit like bummed about it. So they go to the caverns, they're wearing their lives. JJ earlier in the movie stole a skeleton because he's going full out, man. He's going full haunted house, spooky spooks. And so they're in, and they decide they're gonna separate.
Oh.
Why don't we split up and each of us look for the herb?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
What's the matter, scared?
No. It's just, are you gonna be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Well, I'm going this way.
This is when actually the movie does become about Robbie. Robbie has what I can only describe as like a panic attack induced hallucination and thinks he sees a monster in reality and kills the monster. He's screaming. He's like, help me, help me. And his friends come running through the cavern. They find him. He's like, I've slayed the beast, this, that, and the other.
All right, here, Robbie. It's all right. It is all right now. I have slain the Gorville.
They think, man, he is playing. He's so into the LARP. He's really into the character. And they're like, man, good man, you're killing it, Robbie. So they take Robbie back home. They drive back home after all that. They're like, this was so great. What a fun LARP. Great job, JJ. And Robbie turns and he goes, may a blessing be upon all of you, playing his Holy Man character.
Bless you all.
And they're like, Robbie, get out of here, dog. Turns out Robbie's not playing the character. Robbie has now full-on dived into his hallucination. He's gone insane. He now thinks he is, in fact, this Holy Man character. He's lost touch with reality. He is now no longer Robbie. He is Plompton, whatever his character's name is, the Holy Man. That's where Robbie's at now. Robbie now thinks he's, in fact, this character. He's lost his mind. 40 minutes into the movie. Now we actually get the plot going. So Robbie has this dream where the ultimate Holy Man is talking to him. So now it's not even like Robbie is having a dream where he's like trying to get back to Robbie. He's now having a dream where the ultimate Holy Man within the book telling him, the ultimate Holy Man is like telling him like, to be a good Holy Man, you need to be celibate.
I am the Great Hall. Once you gloried in killing, now you are of a higher level. To attain the highest level, you must be holy in all your life. You must be pious, humble, celibate.
So Robbie decides he's going to break up with Kate. And Kate's like, what did I do wrong? What happened? Why are we breaking up? And Robbie's like, it's not you. I just can't touch you anymore. This, that, and the other. Kate's like, what is going on? Let's look. I want to look up what does the book, what does the manual say about madness? Let me look this up. Page 258. Madness. Here we go. In a typical campaign, characters aren't driven mad by the horrors they face and the carnage they inflict day after day, but sometimes the stress of being an adventurer can be too much to bear. If your campaign has a strong horror theme, you might want to use madness as a way to reinforce the theme, emphasizing the extraordinary horror nature or of the threats. Misspoke. The extraordinary horror nature, horrific. Misspoke again. The extraordinary horrific nature of the threats the adventurer faces. Going mad. So that's the definition of going mad in D&D. Is that what's happening to Robbie? Let's keep going. We'll find out. So, Kate's despondent. She's like, my God, Robbie broke up with me. She's talking with Dennis. Dennis is like, man, I don't know what's going on. So sorry, Kate. Kate's like, I've always been attracted to you, but I never thought it would work out because I think you're too attractive. I get that problem. Look at me. Look at me. There's so many storylines. There's so many characters in this film. We then cut to Halloween. So I guess this is all, if school was starting in late August, let's say September, this has all been 2 months. What a whirlwind 2 months, man. Especially for Kate. Kate dating everybody. Robbie has another dream. Like, I got to get out of here. I got to find the Great Hall. The whole time he's been making this like map of the two towers. And so he's like, I got to go find the Great Hall. So he leaves and suddenly, the three friends are like, where's Robbie? What happened to Robbie? Can't find Robbie. So they call the mom. The mom picks up the phone. She's drinking. So I guess, in fact, she was an alcoholic. What a terrible parent.
Hello.
Hello, is Robbie there, please?
No, Robbie's at school. Who's calling?
This is Kate, a friend of his. He wasn't in class this morning, and I just wondered if he'd gone home.
Has he skipped class before?
No. He's probably around here somewhere. Sorry to have bothered you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
So Robbie's not around. They can't find Robbie. They're like, oh my God. So they go to the cops, and that's where we meet the cop from the beginning. We're back. We're almost to where we started the film, and that's when we meet the mayor from Jaws playing a cop. That's great. And he's having this whole scene where, man, he's like, oh, I heard you kids play Mazes and Monsters, and they're all denying it. They're like, oh no, what? No, what? We wouldn't do that. That's crazy. They have no idea why.
Like Mazes and Monsters.
You mean the game?
We know he played. We found a map in his room. You play?
Oh, I used to, but it takes up a lot of time. I'm a straight-A student.
I know. What about the caverns?
Well, what about them?
We heard some of the students were playing Mazes and Monsters in there.
Yeah, I heard that too.
One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
Well, that's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?
I don't understand. Then they even have a conversation where it's like, we're going to be implicated. We're going to be entirely implicated. We're going to be implicated in this. And I'm like, implicated in what?
But then why do I feel so guilty? It's like we're covering up a crime.
But it wouldn't have helped Robbie to tell the cops we played the game with him.
But will you look at what we have done? We've taken all the game stuff, everything from the caverns, and we have hidden it.
But it had our fingerprints all over it.
Yes, but JJ, that is withholding evidence.
Robbie's in those caverns and is dead because of mazes and monsters were involved.
Robbie ran away. What are you talking about? It makes no sense. Why they're being so secretive with the police that they played a role-playing game. Again, I understand this movie was made at a time where on the news, D&D was like, oh, you might be a devil worshiper if you play D&D. But why they're not straight up with the mayor from Jaws, I do not understand. They're not. That's when we do get to the beginning of the film. They go to the caves, and JJ's like, here's my map. Here's the map. Maybe you'll find him in there. Turns out, nope.
We have no idea where the body is.
Robbie's not in the caves, which actually I'll say pleasant surprise. I really thought, truly, because this was the opening of the movie and we were cutting back there, I really thought we were going to clearly Robbie's going to be right there. He's going to be in that cave making his holy man stuff happen, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. But no, he wasn't there. So they're like, wow, we'll be honest with you. We don't know where he is. The friends find the map, and that's when Kate puts it together. Kate's like, wait.
Therefore, the solution's right here on this map.
But if it's not a map of the caverns, what is it a map of?
Happy Halloween.
Merlin, enough.
Oh my God. That's it?
What?
The Great Hall. It's not a place, it's a person. Robbie's brother's name was Hall, the one that ran away.
Ran away? What are you talking about?
Robbie told me that years ago his brother ran away on Halloween at his own birthday party, and they've never seen him since.
The Great Hall. His brother's name was Hall. Don't you understand? He's trying to go find his brother. And you're like, oh my God, what does that mean? Finally, we cut back to Robbie. Robbie is walking the streets of New York City, I guess looking for his brother. I guess he's been doing this for a week. Where he's been living, how he's been eating, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Anyway, Robbie then runs into like a foul of two muggers, and then he stabs one of them. He kills a man. It's D&D's fault. He killed a man. So, Robbie's like, I guess that snaps him out of it. Doing something so violent snaps him out of it. And he's like, oh! And so he picks up the phone, he calls Kate, and he's like, Kate, I don't know what I did. I'm in New York. I don't know what happened. Where am I? I'm covered in blood. My knife. And as if like he's had this knife throughout the movie. He is not, by the way. It's not like,
There's blood on my knife.
Knife? What happened?
It's on my hands. I think I killed somebody. I know I killed somebody.
This is not a case where like Robbie was constantly playing with a knife throughout the film, where we're like, oh, this is Chekhov's gun. Here it comes. Here's the Robbie knife. So Kate's like, don't worry, we're gonna come get you. Stay, go to JJ's house. JJ, he's got a house there. We'll come find you. Let's see what further the D&D manual says about madness. Madness effects. Madness can be short-term, long-term, or indefinite. More relative mundane effects impose short-term madness, which lasts for just a few minutes. More horrific effects or cumulative. Wow. A word that you hear it in your head, and then when you try to speak it out your mouth after you've had a drink, that's 7% alcohol. Cumulative. There it is. Boom, bitch. Boom. Cumulative. Found it. Cumulative effects can result in long-term or indefinite madness. Where does Robbie stand? Is this madness indefinite? Short-term? Let's find out. Turns out he goes right back into it. He's mad. So Robbie's walking around the city of New York. He thinks he's this priest character. He thinks he's this holy man. And he runs across a homeless person. Homeless person says, I'm the king of France. Robbie bows to him.
Please, there's no reason to fear me. I am Pardieu. I am a holy man.
I'm the king of France.
Your Majesty.
It kind of reminded me of Fisher King, which is a great movie. I'm not getting emotional. I just had the burp. But it's an emotional movie. Fisher King, fantastic film. Robbie's like, I need to go find the two towers. So here's the cringe moment that comes with any movie that takes place in New York City before 2001. The two towers are the Twin Towers. So now the third act takes place at the Twin Towers. I mean, they were there. They existed. It is what it is. Robbie goes up to the Twin Towers and he figures he's going to go, and his friends see him. His friends are like, oh my God, the two towers mean the Twin Towers. So they run to the Twin Towers. They see Robbie right as he's getting there. The timing. But it's a movie. It's fine. So they get there. Robbie takes an elevator. He gets to the top and he says he's going to jump off the two towers. He's going to jump off the tower that they're currently on. But don't worry, he's got a spell. He's gonna fly. And his friends are like, Robbie, don't do it. So JJ steps forward and JJ goes, hey, as the game master, you cannot do this. I, as the game master, say you do not have enough points. That wakes up Robbie, and Robbie's like, what am I doing up here, Kate? Ah!
Game? Game. Game.
JJ, what am I doing here? Kate, why can't I remember?
A friend you can turn to.
Friends hug him, and it's this whole moment. 2 months later, we cut to 2 months later. Turns out Robbie now, he's back at home, and the three friends are talking, and Kate's like, I'm going to write a book about our experiences, which I feel like you got to talk to Robbie about. Get the rights on that girl. They're so excited that they're going to go see Robbie at his house. So they go see Robbie. The mom is like, he seems to be doing very well. He's talking to his doctor and very happy for him. So they go outside to the backyard. Robbie turns around. Guys, I hate to say it. Robbie has infinite madness. He thinks he's the priest character.
Robbie. Oh, you look terrific.
Yeah, you really do.
Freelick! Aren't you dead? Didn't you die when you leaped into the pit?
Hey, come on, Robbie, stop fooling around.
It is you, Freelick. You have been restored to the living. Whoever did that is a great holy man. A greater holy man even than I.
Thinks he's the holy man. And we get a sad speech from Kate saying about, we played the game with him one more time. And, you know, it was very sad.
So, we played the game again, for one last time. It didn't matter that there were no maps, or dice, or no monsters. Pardieu saw the monsters. We did not.
Credits. So, Monsters and Mazes. Robbie just lost his mind. I guess because he was sad because his brother left, which I get it. Hey, listen, this is the truth. I've been through my own trauma, and I've dealt with mental health stuff as well. This is not me being mildly offended as a RPG player or a D&D fan. In fact, I find a lot of humor in this. There's a mild offense in that apparently this young man lost his mind because he played D&D, not because of the traumas that he went through and did not see a therapist in time. Again, I'm not mocking anybody who's gone through ailments or any kind of mental issues. They're very serious as someone who also has them. So, you know, take care of yourself. And sometimes the way films depict it can make you go, ooh, oogie oog. Oogie oog. But yeah, interesting film. Again, as an RPG player, it's so fascinating to kind of see this movie as a take that the dangers are of fantasy. Even though you would think, because that seems to be the point of the movie. The point of the movie is not about go get your friends help or go listen to your friends if they're having issues. Because Robbie has no issues until like the 40-minute mark. He's got a sad backstory, but all of them do. JJ seems to be the one who has like true issues and depression and loneliness, but then it's not about him, and they never deal with it. They never deal with his stuff at all. Like, and you would think if the movie's trying to be, which seemingly it is, trying to be about the dangers of D&D, that all four of them would have, like, something would have happened to all four of them. But that's not what happens. Dennis is totally fine. Kate is totally fine. JJ seems depressed and just seems to kind of get joy out of playing the game. So this really doesn't feel like a cautionary tale about playing D&D, but that was sort of the point of it. It was like, because again, it's treated like a drug addiction movie. And to be fair, I guess like most drug addiction movies, unless you're doing Requiem for a Dream, most drug addiction movies do not have the thing of like, oh, and things went bad for all of them. It'll usually be like one main character who dies or something terrible, like the worst thing happens to them, and their friends are like, oh man, we shouldn't have done all that cocaine. And that's basically what this movie is. It's a fascinating relic of the 80s. It's a fascinating TV movie. So would I say check it out? I think so. I think especially if you are a D&D or RPG player. If you have never played D&D or RPG, honest to God, let me pitch it to you. It is so much fun. It's a great blast. It's super fun. And I think everyone should, if you've never done it and it feels like something like this, a big old book, would be overwhelming, it's not overwhelming. Get into it, man. It's so much fun. You really do get to escape into a fun world of fantasy. And honestly, if you do it with a bunch of friends, it is the best. But Monsters and Mazes, honestly, check it out, man. I think you'll have a pretty good time. It is. And it's Tom Hanks. He's honestly, as silly as this movie is, he's very good. It's Tom Hanks. Of course he's very good. There's not a period of time where you're like, ooh, Tom Hanks was bad, but then he's very good. Check it out. Also, this is not a sponsored video, but truly, Stoned in Modern Times. The name I forgot. Wizards and Gargoyles. Also very good. 7% alcohol, so also very strong. So, gentle YouTube wanderer, I thank you for your time. Pardon me as I take my bag of dice, my potions, and I go explore more TV movies of the week as we continue on November. Wait till you see what we got cooking next week. Why am I evil? Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you dig it. And a big thank you to my patrons who make this stuff possible. Please go check out my Patreon at patreon.com/thecameronrice. I got some great stuff coming at you soon. Also, if you dug this show and dig RPGs, you should go check out Blood-Curdling Tales of Terror or Blood-Curdling Tales from the Loop. It was a show I used to GM back in the day over at Hyper RPG, and I have some episodes over here on my channel. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of people you'll really like on there. Thanks, guys.